providing an immersive and comprehensive learning experience. Also, any startup you need to ventures to invest in. So far, many startups have found their respect.
Sat Shri Akal, Adab, and a very, very warm welcome. And thank you so much, special guests, dignitaries, and my dear friends, for making special efforts and taking out your valuable time to reach here today. And on that note, welcome to the INDO-GLOBAL Entrepreneurship Conclave 2023. We are gathered here today to embark on a journey of exploration and enlightenment as we delve into the profound impact of India's G20 presidency. I'm Neha Bajaj, and today I have the immense pleasure of being your host for this exceptional day. And I hope you enjoy this event, this glorious and a very important day, as much as I'm already enjoying with you. Building on the resounding success of our previous mega events, Business Connect magazine, one of India's foremost magazines for the business community, is excited to announce the INDO-GLOBAL Entrepreneurship Conclave 2023, our first mega corporate event to assess the impact of the G20 Summit on Indian businesses. Organized by the Business Connect magazine, owned by Mr. Abhishek Dubey, Mr. Ashutosh Ojha, and Mr. Ashish Kumar, this is our 7th conclave in the last 2 years. Wow, what an achievement, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause for that. In this conclave, we will discuss and explore how India's G20 presidency declarations can aid its economic recovery by unlocking global impact and charting new paths to future opportunities. The title of our conclave today is From Bharat Mandapam to Vishwa Mantram, Impact of India's G20 presidency, Driving Economic Growth through Invest India, Making India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. The theme that resonates through this event is unlocking global impact, like I said earlier, exploring the path to future opportunities. It is with great pleasure and honor that I introduce Mr. Abhishek Dubey, the CEO of Business Connect magazine. Can we please have you on stage, Mr. Abhishek Dubey, and a round of applause for him to grace his presence. Mr. Abhishek Dubey is a distinguished leader in the world of business and media. With a career marked by excellence and a passion for connecting professionals and entrepreneurs, he has made a significant impact in the industry. As the CEO of Business Connect magazine, Mr. Dubey has played a pivotal role in shaping the narrative of business and entrepreneurship. His leadership has steered the magazine towards becoming a trusted source of insights, information and inspiration for business leaders and aspiring entrepreneurs alike. Under his guidance, Business Connect magazine, his baby of course, has become a platform that not only highlights success stories but also dwells into the intricacies of the business world, offering valuable knowledge and networking opportunities to its readers. And we are also privileged to have, along with Mr. Abhishek Dubey with us today, looking forward to his valuable insights and contributions, we have Mr. Onkareshwar Pandey to introduce our inauguration session today later. But before that, let me introduce him even more better with a few words. Mr. Onkareshwar Pandey is a distinguished member of the expert panel responsible for selecting senior fellows under the aegis of the CCRT, Ministry of Education, Government of India. Additionally, he serves as an executive fellow at Watson University, where he imparts his valuable insights and experiences to aspiring minds. With a career spanning over 3 decades, Mr. Pandey is a consummate thought leader boasting a wealth of multifunctional and multi-sectorial experience. His professional journey has traversed various media knowledge platforms including print, television, digital media, TV news, agencies, and think tanks. So with a round of applause, let's have Mr. Onkareshwar Pandey on the stage, please. He's also the founder of an exclusive Commonwealth Thought Leaders Forum, bringing together top diplomats, bureaucrats and experts from around the world to share their views.
President of World Association of Investment Promotion Agencies, Geneva, Switzerland, and former MD and CEO of Invest India, Government of India, a big name in India in this field of investments and all. I would like to request Mr. Deepak Bagla to kindly come on this stage, please. He is our chief guest today.
Round of applause for Deepak Bagla, ladies and gentlemen.
I would request Mr. Prem Singh, President and Group CHRO, JK Organization and President National HRD Network, New Delhi, to kindly come on this stage, please.
Mr. Prem Singh, ladies and gentlemen, for you.
I would request Mr. Santanu Mitra, Senior Economic Advisor, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India, to kindly come on the stage, please.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear your echo.
I would also request Dr. Ishita Ganguly Tripathi, Additional Development Commissioner, Ministry of MSME, Government of India, to kindly come on this stage, please.
Good morning, welcome to the dais, ma'am.
Very soon we will, many other guests will be joining. I would like to request His Excellency Mr. Gambol Dambajau, Ambassador of Mongolia, on the stage, please.
Thank you all for giving us your valuable time.
I would also request Mr. Samar Mahapatra, a very senior HR leader, is the ex-Vice President of Reliance Jio and now advisor to MDI and ASSOCHAM, to kindly come on the stage, please. Several other guests are on the way. Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Patjoshi, IPS, DGP and CMD Kerala Police Housing Construction Corporation Limited, is joining online. Dr. Karthike A. Anand, OSD to Government of Andhra Pradesh, Ministry of Skill Development and Finance, is also joining online. He is on a tour on the France, but he will also be joining. I would request all the guests to kindly have a seat, please. Now I would request Mr. Abhishek Dubey and Mr. Ashutosh and Mr. Ashish to kindly felicitate our guests with the bouquet, please. Yeah, Mr. Prem Singh, President, Group CHRO, JK Organization and President National HRD Network, Delhi NCR, New Delhi.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
And a big round of applause for Mr. Deepak Bagla, President, World Association of Investment Promotion Agencies and former MD and CEO, Invest India, Government of India. Now I would request to felicitate Dr. Ishita Ganguly Tripathi, Additional Development Commissioner, Ministry of MSME, Government of India. I would request to kindly felicitate His Excellency Mr. Gambol Dambajau, Ambassador of Mongolia in New Delhi. Kindly felicitate Mr. Samar Mahapatra, a veteran HR leader, ex-Vice President HR of Reliance Jio and now advisor to ASSOCHAM and MDI Gurgaon. I would also request Mr. Abhishek Dubey and I would request Mr. Vineet Suri to kindly come on the stage. He is the Joint Director, Shri Vishwakarma Skill University, Gurgaon, India's first skill university in Haryana.
Welcome, sir.
Mr. Vinod Tripathi, Joint General Manager, Airport Authority of India, Aviation Safety, to kindly come on the stage, and I would request Mr. Abhishek Dubey to kindly felicitate him. Director of IUSA Inter-University Accelerator Center, which was earlier called the Bomb Center in India because it was a nuclear science center, located adjacent to the JNU, is a very big and huge, beautiful campus. Professor Pandey is the head of the institution. With all this, I would request my co-anchor to kindly proceed.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, I would like to draw your attention, now that we have our esteemed guests and dignitaries on the stage, I would like to request everyone to stand up in respect to our beloved nation. We shall now indulge in a few moments of reverence and unity as we play the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Bharat Mata Ki
Jai. Thank you so much. You can take your seat, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, we would like to, it has several reasons. The most important, that it is a part of our Indian tradition. And secondly, because it has a very pure intention that we light these lamps, we spread positivity in form of light. And so that it can just help us pass through the darkness. So we really hope that the positivity of this light, of these diyas, will fill up your life going forward. We would like to request all our dignitaries and guests to kindly proceed for the lightning lamp lighting.
Shubham Kurutvam Kalyanam Arogyam Dhanasampadam Shatrumurti Vinashaya Deepajyotir Namostute Deepajyotir Namostute Deepajyotir Parabrahma Deepajyotir Janardana Deepajyotir Parabrahma Deepajyotir Janardana Deepo Hartume Baba Satyadeepa Namostute Deepa Brahma Rupastham Jyotisham Prabhuravyaha Deepa Brahma Rupastham Jyotisham Prabhuravyaha Arogyam Dehi Putrausha Vatik Sanchami Me Sada Ravirastam Samarabhya Yavan Suryodayo Bhave Ravirastam Samarabhya Yavan Suryodayo Bhave Yasya Drishti Gruhe Deepa Tasya Nasti Tarendrata Shubham Kurutvam Kalyanam Arogyam Dhanasampadam Shubham Kurutvam Kalyanam Arogyam Dhanasampadam
Wow, what an auspicious start to this lovely day today, and going forward I hope that chief guest, a very gorgeous, stunning, ravishing Bollywood actress who will be gracing her presence, but that will be later in the day, and you all have to stick around, and she will be obviously recognizing all the talent we have today in business. Once again, I would like to request Mr. Omkareshwar Pandeyji to take the event forward.
Thank you very much. I'm really sorry for the little delay in starting our program. So ladies and gentlemen, very good morning again to all of you, and I would request a big round of applause for all guests who are here on the stage. It is a profound honor to welcome you to the INDO-GLOBAL Entrepreneurship Conclave 2023, a platform dedicated to assessing the impact of G20 Summit on Indian businesses, organized by Business Connect magazine under the astute ownership of three young directors, Mr. Abhishek Dubey, Mr. Ashutosh Ojha and Mr. Ashish Kumar. The theme of this event resonates with the spirit of our times, unlocking global impact, exploring the path to future opportunities. As we gather here today, we recognize the extraordinary impact of India's G20 presidency under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and also in the leadership of Mr. Amitabh Kant, who served as the Sherpa for this monumental event. India's year-long stewardship of the G20 offered a significant opportunity to rejuvenate and boost its economy, particularly in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic and the subsequent global recession. Mr. Kant rightfully described the G20 as a channel for providing a healing touch to the world during challenging times, shifting the world's focus from Europe and Asia to the global south. Unfortunately, the world's attention and focus has shifted to West Asia nowadays due to fight between Palestine and Israel. Earlier it was shifted to Russia and Ukraine. So, through its G20 presidency, India leveraged international cooperation, attracted investments, implemented economic reforms, and advocated for policies that aligned with its recovery objectives. This effort allowed India to navigate the challenges of the pandemic and the global recession, setting the stage for a more robust and resilient economic future. India's achievements during its G20 presidency, which now comprises 21 countries from across the continents and the European Union, representing around 85% of the world's GDP, hold significant potential for global benefits, particularly in the domains of digital public infrastructure and technological transformation. This conclave stands as a testament to India's journey towards becoming a 5 trillion economy, with the G20 serving as a remarkable opportunity for businesses to contribute to global economic growth. We will explore various facets of this transformation, from investment and economic reforms to innovate policies that align with India's recovery objectives. Throughout the day, we will delve into the crucial topics such as driving economic growth through initiatives like Invest India, Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. We will also shine a spotlight on the vital role of micro, small and medium enterprises in the services sector and examine the fine balance between innovation, customer centricity and data protection in the realm of fintech. Furthermore, we will unravel the ingenious ways fintech companies are bridging the gap in developing economies, leaving a lasting global impact. Our discussions will also venture into the realms of global market navigation, international expansion strategies, and the scaling up of new green technology in competitive markets. The role of women in driving economic growth is of paramount importance. Our discussions will center around women-led growth. We have migrated from women empowerment to the women-led growth now, encompassing design thinking, HR strategies, skilling, digital marketing and also the reality sector. As we embark on this journey of knowledge and discourse, we have the privilege of being in the company of distinguished experts thought leaders and visionaries. We gather here not just to exchange ideas, but to ignite the spark of innovation, to inspire change, and to create a brighter future for all. Over the course of this event, we will delve into a wealth of insights and expertise, and I am here to guide you through this enlightening experience. Together, we will explore, we will learn, and we will grow. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us for our enlightening discussions, we have a distinguished group of humanities, visionaries, and experts, as I said. I would like to again briefly, introduce our guests here. Mr. Deepak Bagla, a distinguished leader who currently serves as the president of the World Association of Investment Promotion Agencies in Geneva, Switzerland. However, his illustrious career includes his role as the former managing director and chief executive officer of Invest India, where he played a pivotal role in promoting investment opportunities in the country and improving ease of doing business in our country. A big round of applause for Mr. Deepak Bagla, our chief guest today. With a wealth of experience, he brings invaluable insights to our discussions. Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Partjoshi is already logged in through online, an individual of remarkable accomplishments. He is not just an IPS officer. Dr. Partjoshi, although he holds the position of Director General of Police and Chairman of CMD of the Kerala Police Housing Corporation, but he has a strong academic background in electrical engineering from IIT Kanpur, MBA from Syracuse University, USA, and IIM Bangalore. He embodies excellence in both academics and leadership. Mr. Jagam Ali Khan had to come at the last moment. He got flu and he could not come. He is the Executive Director in the Ministry of Railways. Professor Avinash Chandra Pandey, as I introduced you, a distinguished academician. Professor Pandey currently serves as the Director of the Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, operating under the Ministry of Education, Government of India. His extensive expertise in the field is pivotal in advancing cutting-edge research. I'll be giving you the more details about his cutting-edge research, which is pioneer in India in the coming period when he will be speaking. Dr. Ishita Ganguly Tripathi, known as the Action Women, Action Lady, a leading figure in India's development landscape. Dr. Tripathi serves as the Additional Development Commissioner in the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Her work is integral to fostering growth and innovation within the MSME sector. Despite her busy schedule, she brings out time and she came here for this conclave. I am really thankful to her, and a big round of applause for Dr. Ishita Ganguly Tripathi. Mr. Prem Singh, a prominent HR leader who serves as the president of Group CHRO for JK organization. You know about this organization, and holds the prestigious position of president of National HRD Network also. His expertise in human resources and organizational development is invaluable. He will be beginning the discussion today. Mr. Anadi N. Sinha is about to join. He is the President of Corporate Affairs at Unominda Group, based in Gurgaon. His Excellency Mr. Ganbol Dangajo, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Mongolia to the Republic of India, will share insights of unlocking global growth and exploring opportunities in Mongolia and beyond. Mr. Roger Lakshman. A big round of applause for Ambassador of Mongolia. Mr. Roger R. Lakshman is the Counselor General of Georgia. He will also be joining in the later half today from South Africa. Dr. Sunil K. Joshi will be joining from USA. He is in Virginia. Mr. Santanu Mitra is here, a very senior leader, thought leader and senior economic advisor within the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. His expertise in economies and corporate affairs is invaluable for our deliberations, as he is the one person who was earlier a journalist and journalist turned bureaucrat. A big round of applause for Mr. Santanu Mitra. Dr. Sandeep Chatterjee will also be joining soon in the second panel. He is the Senior Director and Group Coordinator overseeing cyber law and data governance and heading the Division for E-Waste and Circular Economy in the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Dr. Deepak Majumdar, he is the Project Director of CIDC under NITI Aayog, he will be joining. Mr. Samar Mahapatra is on stage, former Vice President HR of Reliance Jio. And this list is too long, so I'll be, taking the names of other guests in the due course of the discussions. They will contribute their invaluable knowledge and insights to our deliberations, ensuring a rich and comprehensive exploration of the topics at hand, and we will introduce each one of them during their sessions. So these luminaries are here to share their insights, expertise and experiences, providing invaluable perspectives on the topics at hand. I encourage you all to actively participate, share your thoughts and embrace the knowledge and opportunities that will unfold throughout this event. Together we will embark on an intellectual journey aimed at unlocking global impact and exploring the path of future opportunities. Thank you very much for being part of this enlightening event, and let's look forward to insightful discussions and knowledge sharing. So without any further delay, I would like to begin this exciting journey by inviting Mr. Prem Singh, CHRO, JK Organization, to kindly share his views. Mr. Prem Singh.
Okay, but I can feel that. Good morning.
Good morning. Good
That
morning.
sounds better. Sure, thank you Neha for making that easy for me. Dignitaries of the dais, ladies and gentlemen in the auditorium, in the hall, and the organizing team. I think first of all, I would like all of you to give a big round of applause to the Government of India organization for seamlessly planning and executing G20 event throughout last 1 year. So please put your hands together for everyone. I like to talk about two stories. Last year, in 2022, we had a very prominent sports event, FIFA. There was one big surprise. Any guess what was the surprise? The surprise was there was one team which nobody thought would even qualify to come into the tournament. And this team not only qualified, but it also started winning matches one after the other. Another surprise was this team went into the quarter-final. And third surprise was this team went into the semi-final. And biggest surprise was it fought against a team which was very respected for its sporting skills. And this team fought against French. Any guess which team was this? Moroccan team. So Moroccan team, nobody thought that they would be a contender anyway. But this surprise brings home a point that just because the past is not glorious doesn't mean you cannot create a glorious future. I think similar things are happening particularly in the context of India. And let me just share some data points. Number one, last year, based upon one research which was brought out by Mint, number of digital online transactions in India were more than 4 large major economies put together. Yes, my friends, you heard it right. The number of digital transactions, online transactions that happened in India last year were more than the economies led by US, China, EU and New Zealand. All these 4 major economies put together were less than what happened in India. That's a data point. Now let's go back a little bit. What would have led to this? You see, the transformation of economies generally happens in a very sequential manner. That is what history tells us. For example, any economy and major economies have taken that route, follows this sequential route. From agrarian, you go to manufacturing economy, from manufacturing you go to service economy, and from service you go to data economy or IT economy. In case of India, I think this is one unique example. From agrarian, we have kind of leapfrogged into service economy, and now we are converting to the data economy or IT economy. You see, that is the reason why we have been so successful in navigating a lot of complex social problems through digital, through IT prowess. You know, during the COVID time, while the entire world was busy worrying about India, that India will take anywhere between 15 to 18 years to vaccinate its population, India surprised everyone by not only vaccinating its entire population within 12 to 15 months, but also surprised the entire world by providing vaccines to many countries, including many developed countries. What would have led to this? Now let's just go slightly deeper. You see, if you look at India's demography, the average age of India today, the median age as they call it, is 28.5 years. That means young India is a significant competitive advantage. And if there is one reason why India has been extremely fast to adapt technology, to adapt digital, is because of the youth, because of this high young population of the country. You see, the number of people in India who are between 15 years to 35 years is 66%. That makes it extremely advantageous for India to embrace, to adapt very quickly whatever the new technology that comes. That's a big advantage. And to my guest from Mongolia, His Excellency, Mongolian Commissioner, on behalf of India, I say that India, and also to other foreign guests, I say that India, with its policy of Vasudha Kutumbakam, can make significant contributions not only to the progress of India, but also to the progress of the entire globe. Merely because we have a significant competitive advantage in terms of demographic advantage, merely because we have a very high digital quotient and extremely fast, extremely quickly growing startup ecosystem, that places us at a significantly competitive advantage with respect to many other economies. You see, today, India in the globe, in the entire world, is the third largest growing startup ecosystem in the world. That's not something which we can just brush aside. A country which many other economies would have dismissed is now becoming a growing power, a power to reckon with. The focus on digital, focus on technology, focus on green, focus on solar, has already identified India as a growing superpower in terms of economics, in terms of trade, in terms of industry. I think the G20 presents a unique opportunity not only to India but also to the entire globe. I like to just talk about two data points here concerning G20. Based upon one research, G20 could have added at least 1 million new jobs in the last 12-15 months within India. New jobs. Number one. Number two, because of the successful planning and execution of G20, about 10% addition could happen to the trade between India and the G20 countries. That's a big opportunity. Based on this data, based on the Indian prowess, I submit to all the dignitaries here, all the entrepreneurs here, please utilize this opportunity to the best possible extent that you can do, because it is your moment. It's an opportunity that all of you as entrepreneurs, all of us as Indians, as global citizens must seize and make sure that we make the best use of this opportunity. With this, I just like to end with a small couplet. इम्तहां अभी और भी है, मंजिलें अभी और भी है. इम्तहां अभी और भी है, मंजिलें अभी और भी है. नापी है मुट्ठी भर जमीन हमने, अभी तो पूरा आसमां बाकी है. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you very much. पूरा आसमान भी बाकी है और पूरा दिन भी बाकी है. IUAC, Ministry of Education, Government of India, इनको invite करता हूँ to share his views, on the subject today. And I would also like to say कि इनके सेंटर में MRI मशीनें जो होती हैं ना, हम सब लोग MRI टेस्ट कराते हैं. आपको पता है ये MRI मशीन में जो मैग्नेट लगता है वो उसका हार्ट है, जो इंडिया में प्रोड्यूस नहीं होता, मोस्टली चाइना से और अदर कंट्री से आता है. His center has developed that magnet that is so important because one machine costs several crores of rupees, from 3-4 crores to up to 16 crore and maybe many more. And his center has developed that magnet, and several other things are developing under his leadership and guidance. A big round of applause for Professor Avinash Chandra Pandey, and I would request you to kindly briefly address us. Mr. Pandey.
The fourth revolution which is coming, and many such waves will come. To address those waves in form of disruptions, we have to take these challenges in such a way that we not only harness the potential of our intellectual capital of country, but also to take risk for addressing those issues which ameliorate the conditions of the people, not only in India but across the globe. We are capable, and you have seen a small change which was initiated that led to many unicorns, many startups in the country, and also we have started thinking in terms of becoming an economy of $5 trillion worth. So this is what the change which we have to be mindful, and the earlier concept of having fixed sort of learning, rote learning and those things in the mind that we have to pursue the career in a straight-jacketed manner, that has to go away, and that is what the national education policy is also envisaging, how we can transform the landscape, the higher education landscape in the country, making skill and skilling an important ingredient, where the vocational, the skill framework and general education, they have got a very seamless interconnect for lateral transformation, lateral movement from one vertical to other vertical. This is what we have started going on, but the problem of academia industry connect, we do not have faith on each other. So unless otherwise that comes into picture, we cannot harness the potential which is there. So Pandey was referring to MRI magnet. MRI magnet is beginning. There are many things which are there inside which is not known to the industry people, and because of that they don't come forward. So a small thing like how to connect superconducting wire with the conducting one to the resources. Resources means some of the things are becoming really a challenge for us. For example, helium. For example, many futuristic materials which are not there in the country. So how, I'll take example, we consume paracetamol, but we do not have a formulation by which we can ourselves produce paracetamol, which is a very simple chemical formula. We can borrow that, we can purchase it from some other country and make its many derivatives in form of complex in form of ibuprofen, many such things. But the basic ingredient is not manufactured, is not synthesized in the country. So these are some of the challenges, and this Business Connect gives an offer, an opportunity for all of us to think, to rethink, and come forward to take the advantage of the new India which is taking shape. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Avinash Pandey, for your brief and insightful deliberations. Now I would request Dr. Ishita Ranguli Tripathi, Additional Development Commissioner, Ministry of MSME, to kindly address the gathering. A big round of applause for Dr. Ishita Ranguli.
Namaskar, Dr. Deepak Baglaji, Omkareshwar Pandeyji. I believe Dr. Joshi sir is online, so namaskar sir. Professor Pandeyji, Shantanu sir, Abhishek Dubeji, His Excellency Ambassador of Mongolia, Mahapatra-ji, all dignitaries on and off stage, organizers and stakeholders. It is indeed my pleasure to be here. The program schedule says that we are talking about the impact of India's G20 presidency, unlocking global impact, exploring the paths to future opportunities. So I thought my focus today should be on what all the government has been doing for the MSME sector in the past 1 year during the presidency, India's presidency of G20, and how responsive the policies have been to the demands of the stakeholders. I have 2 slides summarizing what I would like to present to you. So, the Ministry of MSME works together with the Am I audible? Okay. So, the Ministry of MSME works together with the Office of DCMSME, KVIC, that's Khadi and Village Industries, NSIC, Coir Board, LIMSME, that's our research institute, and MBB. All the interventions that have been made in the past 1 year have focused on a holistic approach where access to finance for the MSMEs, access to technology and access to market have been focused upon. So I think that was Neha ji who mentioned about Bharat Mandapam to Vishwa Mandapam. So the focus has actually been on that. And if we talk about MSMEs, we all are aware that in 2020 the definition changed and all the enterprises which have a turnover of less than 250 crore along with investment in plant and machinery less than 50 crore is what defines the MSME sector. The contribution of the MSMEs in terms of GDP, 1/3 of GDP, almost 50% of exports, and second contributor to employment after agriculture, all that is well known. But all the interventions, if we were to categorize the interventions, especially the ones made in the past 1 year, I think they can be put in 7 different buckets. The first one is the coordinated response. Now if you see in brackets I have put RAMP and PM Vishwakarma. Why am I talking about coordinated response? Because after all, enterprises, industry is in the state list. So any intervention has to be made along with the state governments. And the 2 examples that are there are RAMP, where we are working along with the state governments on making strategic investment plans, and PM Vishwakarma, which was launched by Honorable PM on the 17th of September, where the focus is on artisans and craftspeople who work with their hands using basic tools, how to provide a holistic end-to-end support to them. Again, we need to work with the states and we are doing that. Then the next is employment generation. There our scheme, our flagship scheme, PMEGP, everyone is aware of that. Entrepreneurship development. Now if we look at our scheme ESTP, the focus is not just on skill upgradation but also on entrepreneurship. Marketing. Now access to marketing is something that is That comes up in every stakeholder consultation we have. And for domestic access to domestic markets, we are focusing on procurement and marketing support services. And the emphasis is on how best we can help the micro enterprises. And if you see all these schemes that are mentioned in the packets, some of them are new schemes which have been introduced in the past 1 year, and the others that are mentioned are the ones where guidelines have been changed so that the support that we are providing to the MSME sector, that can be enhanced. Then international cooperation, I see that looks at support to MSMEs which are interested in accessing markets abroad. And then the National SCST Hub, that focuses on market access for enterprises which are owned by SCs or STs. Then the infrastructure, we find that our cluster development approach, that works very well as far as economies of scale are concerned. And then of course the NER, that's a new, it's been revamped recently, and our focus is on all the 8 states of the Northeast, including Sikkim. The new component that has been introduced is the one on tourism, and I'm sure you all will agree that tourism is something that can really be promoted in the Northeast. Then technology, there we talk about the technology centers and the revamped champion scheme. And finally, but not the least important, the access to finance. Please note I'm saying access to finance and not access to credit, because apart from the credit guarantee scheme and the ECLGS, we also have the Self-Reliant India Fund. That's an equity support we provide to MSMEs, where the contribution of the Government of India is in the ratio of 1:4, 1 government and private equity 4. And in the past 2 years, the average equity support that has been provided under Self-Reliant India Fund is actually rupees 13 crore per MSME. Responsive policies, this is my last slide. The policies which have been actually a response to the demands of the stakeholders in the past 1 year. Now, for us, for the Ministry of MSME, Udyam is as good as KYC, which banks accord importance to. If somebody has an Udyam, it's an MSME for us, Udyam certificate. And it's actually not just a recognition to the MSMEs, but it's also something that can be used further. So it's a way of formalizing the informal enterprises. Now, this was a long-standing demand of a lot of stakeholders who said that we are very small, tiny, nano enterprises and we do not have a PAN, but we are definitely enterprises. So on 11th January this year, we've added in Udyam an Udyam Assist platform where enterprises which do not have PAN can also register, and they are a part of the priority sector lending. And if you look at the figures, from 11 January till this morning, 92 lakh informal micro enterprises have already been formalized, of which 72% are owned by women. ECLJ scheme I mentioned earlier that has saved 14.5 lakh MSME accounts in the past 2 years from becoming NPA. Vis-a-vis a target of 25%, the public procurement from micro and small enterprises has actually been 33.3% till yesterday in this financial year. The annual guarantee fees of credit guarantee scheme for micro and small enterprises, that has been reduced by 50% with effect from 1st of April this year. Till this morning, 2.95 crore MSMEs had registered with an employment of 14.8 crore. Trade facilitation, that is something we are working on with DGFT. Zero effect, zero defect is something we are stressing on for ensuring quality. And under PM Vishwakarma scheme, we have had since the 9th of September till yesterday 9 lakh beneficiaries who registered. That's all from my side. Thank you. Jai Hind.
People. Now, without any delay, I would like to invite today's chief guest and our keynote speaker, a high-profile Mr. Deepak Bagla, who has been facilitating country's investment goyas for over 3 decades as the Managing Director and CEO of Invest India. He brings a wealth of experience from successful stints before that at Citibank, at the World Bank and the private equity space. With an investor mindset and entrepreneurial spirit, he spearheads investment in Invest India earlier, transforming it into the symbol of competitive federalism by blending the best of the public and private sectors. Under his able guidance, Invest India was able to work across every sector and state, facilitating foreign direct investment, supporting and enabling environment and improving ease of doing business. They also promoted a supportive ecosystem for entrepreneurs, champion India as a unicorn nation and commercialize innovations from Indian laboratories. Mr. Bagla, a highly respected figure in this field, considers Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision as his guiding light and has, in a short period, made Invest in India a gold standard globally, earning the title of the world's best investment promotion agency during his tenure. His dedication to making India the Vishwaguru and the world's most preferred investment destination is really highly commendable. In the corridors of business, Mr. Bagla has ensured the FDI translates into trust in India and its future for investors. Today, even after his leaving, Invest India remains dedicated to making India Vishwaguru and the world's most preferred investment destination. I request Mr. Deepak Bagla to kindly come and address. A big round of applause for Mr. Deepak Bagla.
It was a long introduction. I don't know how much of it was true. But Mr. Pandey, Mr. Dubey, thank you very much for getting this all together. It really makes it's really important for what you've done for us. And officials, dignitaries, excellencies, friends, thank you for joining us this morning. We were thinking about what to speak on, and he said speak about the G20. But I thought let's just look back only on the past 60 days. Just 60 days. Think about what has happened here. And I'll tell you why I'm asking you about 60 days. I'm not even talking about the past 3,000 days since 2014. Because I think so much has happened that no one knows about the entire capacity of what has happened. And that is where G20 helped us a lot. Because one element which I found right through my entire career with Invest India, and when we were talking in G20 to everyone, nobody knows the amazing story of the change and transformation of India. Everybody said that. And I think one of the biggest things which happened in G20, which the Prime Minister made it happen, because it went to every city of this country, was to tell the world the story of the most unprecedented transformation in human history. And in that transformation, we are at probably the most interesting and important inflection point in our history. For each one of you. Think of only the past 60 days. Actually, I'm not even making you think of the past 300 days. 300 days ago, you think any of us would have been sitting in this room without a mask? Impossible. You were all isolated away from your closest family members, sitting alone in a room, locked in. 20th March 2020. The WHO director said the future of the world will depend on how India handles this pandemic. It was the gravest experience ever any of us will ever face. And I hope our future generations won't have to do that. And yet, in the toughest time in living history, you led the world's largest food support program, you did the world's largest vaccination program, you did the world's largest medicine support program, not just for yourself, but over 150 countries. You remember this well. When we started, 30th March 2020, you did not have PPEs, you did not have masks, you did not have ventilators, you did not have testing labs. You remember? And yet on the 15th of July, you were exporting masks, you were exporting ventilators to the rest of the world. You did it. You had a leadership and a Prime Minister who was resolute, with a relentless zeal to make it happen. And equally important, a resilient nation which stood together to make it happen. But you remember what the Prime Minister said at that time? The focus was not just on life. He said, I will save life and I will save livelihood. Even during that time when the entire world was locked, you were running the world's biggest water program, the world's largest sustainability program, where even during the midst of that lockdown, you got a drinking water tap to over 110 million people in that lockdown. You know the Jal Jeevan mission which the Prime Minister launched? You all remember that? And remember, getting you a water tap in your house, you may not take it for granted because you stay in the city. 200 million households of rural India do not have a drinking water tap. And tell you, it is not just fixing a tap, it is laying a pipe, it is getting storage, it is getting cleaning that water, it is recycling, it is fixing a meter. While you were locked, there was somebody digging somewhere out there, putting in that pipe, putting in that meter. Even during the lockdown, you reached that water to 110 million people. It was not just life, it was livelihood. And let me tell you the other important thing, because with growth, you need capital. You're all businessmen here. On the 20th of March 2020, when the pandemic hit us, we had just about 45 million depository accounts. 45 million depository accounts. Last year in September, you had over 100 million depository accounts. In the midst of that lockdown, you were taking care of life, but at the same time, you were adding capital to the country's growth. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the new India which you all are creating. And now let me take you to the inflection point which I mentioned. And as I tell you, the most important inflection point as far as our entire generation is concerned. But before I come to the inflection point, think of the past 60 days and tell me your best memories. Remember a day when each one of you had tears in your eyes at 4:35 p.m. when you were watching the television. You were the first to land on the dark side of the moon. Every heartbeat was waiting for that landing to happen. Didn't you feel proud? You were proud of being able to. And then just after that, the World Athletic Meet, I don't know many of you saw, 4x400 women's semi-final. You saw that? I had tears in my eyes when I saw that. Our girls at one time were leading the US. When the race started, they did not even introduce us that well. There was somebody else who was introduced, all the other five. And it was just by set that India. You were numbered 2. There was a time you were leading the US, and mind you, it's not too far away. The men did the same thing. And when the Asian Games happened, look at your medal tally. Ladies and gentlemen, this story has just begun. And when you have the top world leaders of the G20 come into your country and spend time with you, it is not a coincidence. It is not just because you managed it well. It is because today you are a force to reckon with. You had Mr. Prem Singh tell you about the startup. Let me tell you about the startup. Startup India was launched by the Prime Minister and you were there. 16th January 2016, I still remember it. He said, let's make it into a country not of job seekers but of job creators. 2016, today you are what? 2023. 7 years, 8 years. You are number 3 in the world in number of unicorns, number 2 in the world in number of startups, number 1 in the world with new startups adding every day. It is amazing. In 2019, you added a unicorn every 51 days. In 2020, you added a unicorn every 28 days. In 2021, you added a unicorn every 9 days. You added more unicorns in the third quarter of 2021 than any other country in the world. And unicorns is about solutions. When you landed on the moon or when you landed on Mars, you did it at 10% of the cost of anybody else who did it. 10% and less. You know what your startups are about? They're not just about starting a business. Your startups are giving you solutions for your growth. And today I have startups in close to 700 of the 740 districts of India. In each and every village and district, there is somebody solving a problem which you thought could never be solved. And doing it at a price point which is less than anybody else in the world. You know what is this new India about? It is about doing more and less. That is new India. Man just told you about the MSMEs. This story has just begun. MSMEs is the heartthrob of industry. They are your supply chain. You have 64 million MSMEs. Let me put it in perspective. Entire Europe has 32 million. And the entire industrial revolution is powered by MSMEs. You have 333 million self-employed individuals. And why am I telling you that? This part of your economy is just waking up. For the first time in our history, they are being able to directly contribute with full strength to your economic growth and participate in that economic growth. And why is that happening? It is happening to my mind because of one basic idea of the Prime Minister, which to my mind is propelling you to be the next superpower. Digital India, which was launched by him on 15th July 2015. I think it is one thing which has made India one. When he started Digital India on 15th July 2015, you know, the most important thing of the new world is individuals and a nation's relationship with technology. That will define how fast you move into the new world. On that day, your global ranking was about 123 in per capita data consumption. So we all agree per capita data consumption is a very important point to show how far you will go and how fast you will grow. 15 July 2015, you were 123 in the world. February 2021, 6 years, 72 months, you were number 1 in the world. You consume more per capita mobile data than the US and China put together. Are you seeing the pace at which you are growing and the change which you are bringing? Mr. Prem Singh spoke to you about real-time transactions. 2021, and we are a young nation. 41% of the world's real-time transactions happen in India. 41%. You did 48 billion transactions, China was 16.8 billion. Well, let me tell you more. Last year, 2022, you did 89 billion transactions, China 17. Are you seeing the lead? Are you seeing the pace at which you are changing the world? 16% of the world's growth next year will be from India, as per the IMF. 16% of the world's growth will be from India. In 1947, when we got independence, we were less than 0.05. Today you are 16%. You have a resolute leader with a relentless zeal, working day and night to make it happen. And we have each one of you. Yesterday, I was with the senior leadership of a Fortune 50 company, which has been in India for 50 years. I asked the senior management as to what do you think is the biggest change in India. They said the India we see today, every Indian has a pride of being an Indian. That is what is changing and making this nation. Let me now leave you with some statistics. Your GDP today is $3.5 trillion. Your first trillion came in 2007. You got independence in 1947, 60 years. Your second trillion came in 2014-15, that is 7 to 8 years. Your third trillion came in 2019-20, that is 5 years. Your fourth trillion will be next year. That means in the past 9 years, you've moved ahead of Russia, Italy, Brazil, France, UK, and next year ahead of Germany. And let me tell you where you're headed from this 3.5 trillion. Just let us look at this growth of all the states. The total growth of India is the average growth, total growth of the states, right? If I look at the average growth of the states of India, by the way, you have 28 states and 8 special territories, just to put it in perspective. And let's pick up a period from 2014-15 to 2019, just before you got into the pandemic. 24 of our states grew at over 10%. 24 states grew at over 10%. If I just extrapolate that for the next 9,000 years, that will add you $42 trillion. Another 12 states grew at 8 to 10%. I extrapolate that, that takes you to $9 trillion. I've just given you the average growth of the past. I'm not even telling you how fast they are moving. When you turn 100 on 15th August 2047, let's say you will have a GDP of anywhere which is $50 to $55 trillion. The global GDP at that time is going to be about $200 to $220 trillion. Remember the circle of life? In 1750, 25% of the world's GDP was you. On 15th August 2047, 25% of the world's GDP will be you. And on that day, 20% of the world's human resource will be in India. 21% of the world's workforce will be in India. 21% of the world's middle class will be in India. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your new India. So congratulations, and it's time to pull up your socks and work towards it. Thank you.
Of India's growth story, and he is not just elaborating, he is the leader of this growth of engine. A big round of applause for Mr. Deepak Bhavla. I am very much thankful to you, sir. I know you have a lot of other engagements. You have meeting with ambassador of one important country. but I would request a few minutes of time of yours, and I would be requesting Mr. Abhishek Dubey to kindly come on stage to felicitate him because he will have to leave. We have a couple of important speakers. Mr. Santanu Mitra, Senior Economic Advisor, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Mr. Raghavendra GR, Senior Consultant with the DPIIT, Ministry Government of India, he is also arrived. Mr. Anadi Sena is the President of Corporate Affairs, Unominda Group, he is also arrived. I would request Mr. Anadi Sena to kindly come in the front seat, please. You are sitting there. And I would request all the guests to kindly join in felicitating.
Mr. Bhagwan, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your stimulating and enchanting speech, sir.
It's a kind of public felicitation to Mr. Deepak Bagla for his great achievements in leading India's growth story. I would also like to have a picture with you, sir, on this occasion.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm so sorry.
I would request Mr. Santanu Mitra, Senior Economic Advisor, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India, to kindly come and address specifically about the services in the MSME sectors, if I am correct. A big round of applause for Mr. Santanu Mitra.